let me tell you about another time that I ruined the workplace when I told my boss, who was a white man, that I would no longer be in meetings with another one of our white male colleagues. This is when I moved over to supply chain planning, and I was in charge of an $180 million budget for all of our material. Now, again, this was during COVID, so material was really hard to come by, but they kept telling the customer that we were running on time. So anytime I would put something in red on any of my charts, they'd be like, well, why is this in red? I'm like, well, because it's bad, like we're really far behind. But then I would also give them a strategy for how we could get caught up. But they didn't want any red in the charts because they're like, well, red is bad and we can't tell the customer that we're behind. And I'm like, how is that my fault or problem? So anyway, this guy would come into my meetings that I was leading and just push his scarcity all over us. His anxiety was so high. He is the type of person that was like, if we don't get everything done by December, we're all gonna lose our jobs. And I'm like, you might lose your job, but that don't got shit to do with me. And so in May, I was like, listen, this is what I see coming. I'm trying to warn you guys now because I know that when Q4 comes, everybody's gonna lose their minds if you don't do what I'm telling you to do. Nobody wanted to heed my instructions. Nobody wanted to listen. So what happened during Q4? They all started losing their minds. And I told my boss in September, I said, listen, Q4 is coming. I don't want to be in meetings with this dude because I already know that he is going to be losing his shit. I told him straight up, I said, you don't pay me enough to be in meetings with him. Do not put me in meetings with him anymore. He is not allowed to come to my weekly meeting. And guess what? I was no longer in meetings with him. I was like, if you cannot regulate your nervous system and stop believing that every single thing that we do in here is detrimental to your job and your job alone, I'm not going to work with you. I spent a very large portion of my corporate career trying to check white men because they just didn't know how to act. They overpromised and underdelivered and then made it everybody else's problem. And so no, he wasn't happy that he was removed from my meetings and he had a bunch of questions that he had to ask afterward because he wasn't allowed to come. And that wasn't my problem because I was like, it's not my fault that y'all continuously lied to the customer. So anyway, that was kind of how I ruined another workplace as a woman of color. Let me know if you want more parts.